Hello everyone and welcome to IP Study Lecture video. Today I'm going to take chapter number 10 of grade 7 and the name of the chapter is The Triangle and its Property. So students, let's quickly see what are the topics that we are going to cover in this lecture. So first of all, we will discuss about what a triangle is, what are its different elements and the interior and exterior region of a triangle. Thereafter, we will discuss about what is median, what is altitude of a triangle. Then we will move on to different properties of a triangle. So without wasting our time, let's start the session. So students, let's start with what is a triangle. So we have already learned in the previous grade what a triangle is. We have discussed that it is the smallest polygon. So how we are going to define a triangle? A triangle is a plane figure which is made up of three non-parallel sides, right? So let me show you a triangle over here. On the screen, you can see a triangle ABC, right? So here we can see different element of this triangle. First of all, let's see there are three vertices, vertex A, vertex B and vertex C, right? And we have three angles over here, angle A, angle B, angle C. And we have three sides, AB, BC and AC, right? So this is all about what a triangle is. So a triangle is a plane figure which is made up of three non-parallel sides. Now, let's move forward and discuss about interior and exterior region of a triangle. In order to do so, let me take an example over here. You can see a triangle on the screen, right? Triangle PQR. So here you can see point O is inside the triangle. So I can say this is the interior part of this triangle, right? This is called interior region of the triangle. Now, let me take another example. Let's take a point L. It is not in the exterior part, it is not in the interior part of the triangle. Where it is on the boundary. It is on the triangle PQR, on the side PR, right? Now, there are certain points that can also be written outside the triangle, like point L over here is taken outside this triangle. So, whatever region we have outside any triangle, we call it exterior region. And whatever region is enclosed by the triangle, we call it interior region of that triangle. So I hope you have understood this concept. Now, let me move forward. Now let's see what is next. So let's start with the property of triangle over here. So first of all, we have the first property, angle sum property of triangle, right? So students, we know that a triangle is made up of three angles, right? Let me take an example over here. Suppose we have this triangle ABC. So how many angles we have? We have three angles, angle 1, angle 2 and angle 3, or simply angle A, angle B and angle C. So angle sum property of a triangle says that if you add the three angles of a triangle, it always comes out to be 180 degree. Means angle A plus angle B plus angle C always comes out to be 180 degree. This is angle sum property of a triangle. Now, in order to understand this property in a better way, let's take some examples. Let me take example number 1 for you. So, let's read the question together. The measure of three angles of a triangle are in the ratio 5:3:2. Find the measure of these angles. So, here the angles are not given to me, but in what ratio they are present, it is given to me. They are present in the ratio 5:3:2 and I have to find out their exact value. So what I will do, I will apply angle sum property of a triangle over here, right? So we know that angle sum property of a triangle is sum of the three angles of a triangle is always equals to 180 degree. Let's say angle A is 5x. Let's say angle B is 3x. And let's say angle C is 2x. If you add all these angles, it should be equal to 180 degree, right? Now let's solve it together. What you will get? You will get 10x over here. When you solve it further, you will get the value of x over here, that is 180 by 10, 18 degrees. Right? So what is the value of x? X is 18 degree, right? So students, what I have to find out? I have to find out the value of three angles of a triangle. And at the beginning, I told you we have assumed angle A to be 5x. So what will be the value of angle A? You have to simply multiply 18 by 5, which comes out to be 90 degree. What was my angle B? Angle B was 3x. So what you have to do? You have to simply multiply 18 with 3 and you will get 54 degree. And what was my angle C? Angle C was 2x. So what you have to do? Simply multiply 18 by 2, that is 36. Now student, I got my three angles. Now I have to check if my answer is correct or not. So what I will do? I will add all the three angles. If the sum comes out to be 180 degree, it means that my answers are correct. So let's do it. If you add all these, what you will get? You will get 180 degree only, right? It means that my answer is correct. So I hope you have understood this example. Now, let me take one more example for you. So here, in this triangle PQR, it is given angle Q and angle R are x degrees and angle P is 3x degrees, right? According to the question. So, what we have to do? We have to find out the value of these three angles, angle P, angle Q and angle R. Again, it is not given to me what is the exact value, but what is given to me? The ratio or simply the values. So, we have to apply angle sum property of a triangle over here and solve this. So, let's quickly do that. So, what we will do? We will add three angles, angle 3x, angle x and angle x. And the sum should be equals to 180 degree according to the property. So, we will equate it to 180 degree. So, when you solve it, what you will get? 5x is equals to 180 degree. On further solving, the value of x comes out to be 36 degree. Now, I have value of x that is equals to 36 degree. So, angle Q and angle R were x degrees. So, it means that the value of angle Q and angle R is equals to 36 degree. And it was given angle P is 3 times of x. So, what you have to do? Simply multiply 36 with 3. That comes out to be 108. Right? So, this is how you can solve the question based on angle sum property of a triangle. So, I hope you have understood this property and I hope the examples that we have discussed are very clear to you. Now, let's move on to the next topic. Let's see what is that. It is medians of a triangle. It is very important to understand because these concepts are very important when you move to the next grade. Okay? So, let's understand this topic. What do you mean by median of a triangle? What does it mean? So, in order to do that, let's take an example. So, you can see on the screen a triangle LMN, right? A triangle LMN is given to you. So, suppose if I draw a line from this vertex, let me take another color. Suppose I am drawing a line from this point L and it is falling on the side of the triangle MN, right? In such a way that it is dividing this line into two equal parts. So, when it happens, we call this line median. Okay? So, since we have three vertices in a triangle, so we can have three medians in a triangle. And the point where the three medians meet, we call this point of intersection as centroid. I hope you have understood the meaning of median. Now, let's move on to the next topic and let's see what is there. It is altitudes of a triangle. Again, this is also very important for higher grades. So, let's understand this topic here only. So, what do you mean by an altitude? So, let me draw and let's understand this together. So, suppose you have a triangle over here, A, B, C, right? So, I have drawn this triangle ABC. Now, suppose I am drawing a line from A, from here A, on the side BC in such a way that angle ADC and angle ADB are equals to 90 degree. Means this AD is acting as a perpendicular on the side BC. We call this line altitude of this triangle. Now since we have 3 vertices in a triangle, we can have 3 altitudes in a triangle. So I can redraw it like this. Perpendicular, perpendicular, and here also we have one more perpendicular. Right? So the point where 3 altitudes meet, we call this point as orthocenter. This point of concurrence is called orthocenter of this triangle. So I hope you have understood the meaning of altitudes. Now let me tell you one more thing. Whenever you are drawing an altitude of a triangle, it is not like that the altitude always comes inside the triangle. It may be drawn on the sides of a triangle, it may be drawn outside of a triangle. So we can draw altitude for different triangles in a different way. For some triangle it will be inside the triangle, for some triangle it will be on the side, and for some triangle it can be drawn outside the triangle. So I hope you have understood the topic of median and altitudes very well. Now student, one more point that we need to remember. It's a special case, you can say that. In case of equilateral triangle that we are going to discuss later in this chapter. So in case of equilateral triangle, the median and the altitude of the triangle always coincide. Okay, so this is special case. Please remember this thing. Now let's move on to the next topic and let's see what is there. Now we have the next property, that is exterior and interior angle of a triangle, or exterior angle property of a triangle, right? So here, what is this property all about? What it says? Let's see this example, this figure over here. Let's understand this property with the help of an example. Let me take this triangle over here. You can see triangle DEF is given to you. So if I produce this EF line to G, then I will get one angle over here, this one. Can you see this on the screen? This angle is called exterior angle. What is this? Exterior angle of this triangle, right? And these are interior angles. And since these are opposite to this exterior angle, we can call them as interior opposite angles, right? These are interior opposite angles. So exterior angle of a triangle, this property states that whenever one side of a triangle is produced in such a way that we get an exterior angle, then this exterior angle will be equal to sum of the two interior opposite angles. Let's say this is angle 1, and let's say this is angle 2 and this is angle 3. So according to this property, the value of angle 1 will be equal to sum of the angles 2 and angle 3. This is the exterior angle property of a triangle. Now let me take some examples so that this property will be much more clear to you. So let's take example number 4, right? So here we have given triangle DEF, right? Now the side of this triangle DEF, EF side is produced to point G in such a way that we get an exterior angle whose value is 110 degree, right? And we got two interior opposite angle, that is angle D and angle E, right? So according to exterior angle property, we know that the value of this 110 degree exterior angle will be equal to sum of angle D plus angle E. Now let me put the values over here and calculate the value of unknown quantity. What is unknown quantity over here? Angle D, because it is given angle E is equals to 65 degree. So let me put the values over here. So angle D will be 110 degree minus 65 degree. When you solve it, what you will get? 45 degree. So I got my angle D, which is 45 degree, right? Now in the question it was asked the value of the unknown quantity in this given triangle, that is angle D and angle F, this one. So I come to know about the value of angle D. We know the value of angle E. Now what is left? I have to find out the value of angle F over here, right? Now how I am going to do that? Here, in order to find out this value, what I will do? I will apply angle sum property of a triangle, according to which we know that the sum of the three angles of a triangle comes out to be 180 degree. So let me put the values over here and find out the value of F. So when I do so, what I will do? I will add 65 degree, 45 degree, 65 degree and angle F, and that will be equal to 180 degree. On solving it, I will get 180 degree plus angle F, and value of angle F will be 180 degree minus 110 degree. That comes out to be 70 degree. So student, I hope you have understood this example. So in this example, we have used two property. First of all, to find out the value of T, we apply the property of exterior angle of a triangle. Then after that, in order to find out the value of angle F, we applied the angle sum property of a triangle. So I hope these examples are clear to you. Now let's move forward. So the next property is inequality property of a triangle. Okay, so what it says? It says that if you have a triangle, let's say we have a triangle LMN, and the sides of these triangles are represented by side A, side B and side C. So according to inequality property of a triangle, the sum of the two sides is always greater than the third side, right? So let me write it for you over here. So here, if I add side A and side B, the sum of the sides will be greater than the third side, right? Again, if I take side B, side C, the sum of side B and side C, the sum will be greater than the third side, that is side A. Again, let me take one more. If I add side C and side A, so the sum of these two sides will be greater than the third side, that is angle B. So I hope you have understood this property. Now, in order to understand this property in a better way, let's see one example. Okay? So, let me take an example for you. Let's take example number 6. Here, the question is, state which of the following may be possible lengths of the sides of a triangle. So, we have to check. The three sides are given. If these three sides are of a triangle or not. So how we can find out? Simply we will have to apply the property of inequality over here. What we will do? We will add two sides. If the sum of the two sides is greater than the third side, then this triangle is possible. Otherwise, the triangle is not possible at all. So let's do it together. So let's take this one, 7, 6, 11, right? So if you add 6 and 7, if you add them, what you will get? You will get 13, and 13 is greater than 11, right? First condition is satisfied. Let's take another condition. Let's add 6 and 11 this time. What you will get? 17, and 17 is greater than 7. This condition is also satisfied. Let's check the third one. Now add 7 and 11. That also comes out to be 18. So 18 is again greater than this third side 6. It means that since all the three conditions are fulfilled, this triangle is possible, right? Now let's check the second case. In this case, we have 6, we have 5 and we have 13. So let's check. If you add 6 and 5, it comes out to be 11. Is 11 greater than 13 or less than 13? The third side. It is less than 13. Since the condition is not satisfied, it implies this triangle is not possible at all with these three sides, right? So I hope you have understood the property of inequality of a triangle, which says that the sum of the two sides is always greater than the third side in any triangle. So let's move on to the next topic. The next topic is measure of angles of an isosceles triangle and an equilateral triangle. So student, we have already discussed about these triangles in the previous grade. So let me take an isosceles triangle first. So what is an isosceles triangle? An isosceles triangle is a triangle in which we have two equal sides. So let me draw it for you over here. So suppose I have this triangle A, B, C, and these two sides are equal to one another. So this triangle is called an isosceles triangle where AB is equals to AC, right? So the student, I want to tell you one more thing about this triangle. If we have two equal sides, then the angle opposite to equal sides are also equal. This is something very special that will help you in the next grade as well, right? So, in an isosceles triangle, the angles opposite to equal sides are always equal. If I'm saying here AB is equals to AC, it means that angle B is also equal to angle C over here. I hope you have understood this topic. Now, let me tell you about the equilateral triangle. Now, what is special about equilateral triangle? We know that in an equilateral triangle, all the sides are equal, hence all the angles are also equal. If I say in this triangle PQR, the three sides PQ, QR and PR are of 3.8 meter, all the three sides. Then the angles P, angle Q and angle R, all the three angles will also be equal. So, if all the three sides are equal, then all the three angles are equal to one another. It means that here angle P equal to angle Q equals to angle R, right? So, I hope you have understood this topic. So, what we have covered in this, we have learned that in an isosceles triangle, since we have two equal sides, then the angles opposite to equal sides are equal, and in case of equilateral triangle, if the three sides are equal, hence the three angles are also equal. Now, let's move on to the next topic. Now, let's move on to the next topic and let's see what is there. Now, the next topic is the next property, that is Pythagoras theorem. Very, very important. It will help you in the higher grade also. So, it's better to understand this property here very well. So, it is a kind of special property because it is not applicable to all the triangles. It is applicable only to right angle triangle, right? So, let me draw a right angle triangle over here for you. So, can you see on the screen, we have a right angle triangle ABC, which is right angled at B, right? Which is right angled at B. So, we defined its sides like the side which is opposite to 90 degree is always hypotenuse. And any one of the side can be taken as perpendicular or base. So, let's say this is perpendicular and this is your base. So, Pythagoras theorem states that the square of hypotenuse is always equals to the square of base and square of its perpendicular. Or simply according to this triangle, we can say that the square of the biggest side is always equal to sum of the square of the other two sides, which means AC square is equals to AB square plus BC square. This is your Pythagoras theorem. So, student, in order to understand this property of triangle, let's take some examples. So, let me take this example for you, example number 8, right? So, here what we have to find out, we have to find out the value of x, right? So, we know that in a triangle, right angle triangle, the square of hypotenuse or the square of the bigger side is always equal to sum of the square of the other two sides. So, here we have to find out the value of x, the third side, and it is always equal to sum of the other two sides, right? So, if I do so, what I will get? I will get this one, which comes out to be 25. So, x square is equals to 25 we have over here. Now, x square, what does it mean? X into x, can I write it like this? And 25, can I write it like this? 5 into 5 means that x is equals to 5. So, here what is the value of x over here? The value of x is 5, right? Now, let's take another example. In this example, again we have to find out the value of x and the two sides are given to us, right? So, here the bigger side is 13. So, what I will do, I will just put the values in the formula or in the property, which states that the sum of the bigger side is square of the, which states that the square of the bigger side is equal to sum of the squares of the other two sides. So, here 13 square will be equal to x square plus square of 5. So when you solve it, what you will get? You will get 169 minus 25. That comes out to be 144, and the value of x comes out to be 12 over here. Right? So I hope you have understood the meaning of Pythagoras theorem, and the examples that we have taken help you to understand this property very well. So I hope you have understood the topics that we have covered in this chapter. So let's quickly revise the topics that we have covered. First of all, we have discussed what is a triangle, we defined triangle, then we have defined different regions of a triangle like interior and exterior region of a triangle. Then we discuss about what are medians, what are altitudes of a triangle. Thereafter, we discuss about different properties like angle sum property of a triangle, exterior angle property of a triangle, inequality of a triangle, and at the end we discuss about what is Pythagoras property of a triangle, right? So I hope these topics are very much clear to you and you have understood the topics very well. For this lecture, that's all, and we will meet you in the next lecture very soon. Till then, take good care of yourself, keep learning, keep practicing.